is currently 3:17 a.m. So good morning, all you beautiful people. Today we are going to do, we're going to have our spirit talker session. I have to take my meds before we start though. So give me 1 second. I just have my vitamins, the fire going on my television. So if you hear any snapping or cracking or popping, that's what you're hearing. It's very relaxing. For me anyway, I think it is. Let me know in the comments if any of you find fire relaxing. Like a bonfire or in your fireplace. I think it's very relaxing. I have Bubby right next to me, like literally if I put my arm down, I'm gonna bump him in the head with my elbow. So I'm just gonna take my meds real quick. And then we'll get started. I hope everyone's been having a good week. Sorry, trying not to make as much noise as possible because it is 3 in the morning. I don't want to be waking people up. I mean, I'm the only person on the main level of the house, but I'm one above me, one below me. So make sure I got everything I need. Vitamin. These are the Nature Made. I love Nature Made products. I use them for, gosh, as long as I can remember. These are the Advanced Multi for gals 50 and plus, and they're a gummy, and they're raspberry. I love raspberry. Okay, get it open. Here we go. And I just take 2 every morning. Make it part of my routine so I don't forget. And there we go. I'm just going to switch up just a smidge because I want to get comfortable here. I apologize if you hear any chewing. So, we're going to get the Spirit Talker loaded up. It's loading up. Who do I want to focus my energy on? The last sessions we did, I kept it open floor, that anybody could come and speak. But I think I want to focus my energy again on Shannan. I'm not trying to make my channel all about her, but there are going to be quite a few episodes, quite a few sessions that involve her, and for many reasons, because there's a lot that just doesn't make sense. And I think that's one reason why I was prone to wanting to do a session this morning. I got up to use the bathroom and I'm like, okay, I'm going to do a session. I don't just do them whenever. I do them when I'm being drawn to doing them. So there will be times where I will just maybe have a session for the sake of uploading content for you all, but I don't make it a habit. It's not like a game to me. It's real and it's very serious. It's not a game. And so I don't do it whenever. I do it when I'm drawn to do it. And I was watching some shows yesterday. I don't remember who it was, but I watched quite a few different channels. But I was watching one of my favorites, Zwilky. I was watching his commentary video, because that's what he does. He watches videos, and he gives his thoughts and opinions and ideas. He's a commentary content channel, and there's a lot of them out there, and they all do amazing. I watched another one, Roxy. I watch her. Sorry, Bubby's literally laying next to that. So there's quite a few other channels I watch too. It's not just the conspiracy channels. We're not even going to use his name, towards CW. It's just, I watch all different channels. I have different things pique my interest, so to speak. Anyway, but I have been following Zwilky now for over a year. I found him just going through YouTube, and I remember the Watts case. I remember the interview he had. I do not live in that state. I am from Michigan, but I remember the Watts case because it was all over. I mean, it had to have hit every state, and it was all over the world, and it hit us very quickly, and we were all very confused, and we still are, and that's why this ugly, disgusting situation will never be quiet until the DA gives us what we need to be quiet about. It was over too quick, and what I mean by that is we heard about a missing mother and her children. Bubby, you gotta be still. We heard about missing children and their mother. And the same day, we also heard that she was pregnant as well. And then the next day, we seen news reporters in front of the Watts house talking to CW. Watching those interviews, I never felt so sick to my stomach. I knew by watching those videos that the man did it, and I knew he was lying about everything he was saying. Everything about that man screamed guilty. Everything. Obviously, there's a lot that has come out since then that we at the time, the public, did not see. You have body cam footage, you have evidence, you have, um, excuse me, you have the parents, and you have, there's just so much that's come out since because it is now a closed case. So the DA wants us to believe and think, but it really isn't. I get very offended by armchair detective. I get very offended by that. Um, it's not it, it's not that we're trying to be detectives, but we want the truth, and we don't have all the truth. We know there were other people involved. I know for a fact there were other, and I can say fact because being an empath, being a sensitive, and knowing things that nobody else knows, and knowing things before they even happen, makes me eligible to say I know for a fact. Now, for the sake of YouTube, I have to say opinion. Um, but there are other empaths like myself. There are other mediums like myself that have said the same things I've been saying since all this began. We don't know each other. We live in different states. One lives in Alaska. I've never been to Alaska. And we've all said the same thing. So I think the DA needs to, obviously, the case with Christopher, it's closed, it's a done deal. The book has shut on him. He got what he deserved, but there is more. And that's why we're not quiet about it. And that's why we won't be quiet about it until it's taken care of. There are a lot of things that were done wrong. And I feel like a lot of the reason why was because it was election year and certain people wanted a gold star for that year. And what other way to get a gold star than close a case within 3 days? 3 days. If you can even say 3 days. 2 days, maybe. It's not as if they didn't. It's not as if the DA and the FBI and all that. It's not as if they didn't talk to other people, because they did. But there's one particular person that they spoke with that was the star of the show for some gosh forsaken reason. She was treated like a princess. She was treated like a victim, and she's not a victim. I hate that when they say that she was a protected witness. What did she witness? What did she witness? Why are you calling her that? To be called a witness is to be, and I'm going to look up the damn definition. I'm going to post it here. To be called a witness is to witness something being done. Just because you were a homewrecker and you broke up a family and you were seeing a married man and doing all kinds of stuff you shouldn't have been doing, that doesn't make you a witness. That makes you an idiot. So, I have no filter, as you will soon find out by watching my videos. I don't care who likes it. I don't care if you like what I say. I speak the truth. I have no filter. I'm not gonna tiptoe around the facts. I'm not gonna tiptoe around the reality of it. She is a homewrecker, and I strongly and truly believe that if it had not been for her, this would not have happened. Now, do I think Chris would have, oops, I said his name. Do I think CW would have stayed in the marriage with Shannan? No. I think eventually, I believe that there's a possibility that they would have gone to counseling, that they would have tried to work on it. But I don't think that it would have ended in a happy ending. I think that they would have eventually separated, unfortunately. And that's a shame because Shannan really loved her family. She loved her husband. She loved those babies. And another thing that really irritates my soul is how CW said she didn't fight back. Now, we have to believe that There's only certain things we can believe that he says. But from the evidence that we have been able to see, I don't know if there was anything underneath Shanann's nails, because we never saw any evidence. There was never a trial. Nothing ever came to the table. So I can't say whether or not that's true, because we don't know if there was anything underneath her nails. I can promise you that I do not think for 1 minute that she did not fight back. I believe she did. And I believe that a certain someone who wears a long sleeve sweaters in the middle of summer, living where they lived, why? There's just so many things about her. We already know who she is, and I will say NK, that don't make sense. So many. Everything that has come out of her mouth has been pure guilt. Her demeanor, her actions, her words scream guilty. And good old DA was like, oh, no, no. But he had admitted at one point that she did hinder the case, because what she did was a crime. Regardless if they could have proved that she was there, which I truly believe she was, she could still have served time for tampering with evidence. Tampering with evidence is very much against the law. And she tampered with that when she deleted everything and was reaching out to other people, telling them to delete anything they had of her in CW. That is tampering with evidence. So she very well could have gotten in some sort of trouble. She would have served some sort of time, and she didn't even get that. They treated her like she was a protective witness. They treated her with baby gloves. They even gave her information for a victim's advocate. What are you a victim of? You are not a victim, sweetheart. Let's not get it twisted. You are far from being a victim. You are disgusting. You are a homewrecker. And we're not stupid. Everybody that talks about you in this case, we all know that you watch our stuff. You might come up here pretending to be somebody else, whatever, if that's what helps you get through the day, sugar plum. But you are disgusting. You make my skin crawl. You make me want to vomit in my mouth. And you are not a woman. A real woman would never, ever interfere with another woman's marriage, or even family for that matter. You are disgusting. Both of you are disgusting. CW got what he deserved. Now it's your turn to get what you deserve. And there's so much. And I hope they reopen this case. And I hope that they taunt you and they stalk you and they just get in your face. Because we know, all of us know, that you're lying. And one day, there's going to be a DA that isn't going to take your victim act to heart, isn't going to handle you with kid gloves. Yeah, you're disgusting. All right, so I could go on and on about that, but that's not what this session is about. It is, but it isn't. So we're going to focus on Shannan. So it's already done its thing, so now we just have to turn it on. But I want to focus my energy on Shannan. After doing that little vent session right there, I think I gave a lot of energy to that thought. So we're gonna go ahead and set the coffee down, and we're going to turn it on. See a little ball going up and down, so that means it's on. And we gotta turn down the volume. I just remembered that this thing is going to be loud, so let me. Okay. Oh. Visit. First word is visit. Okay. Well, again, before we go any further, I want to put up my protective. I am putting up my boundary shield. You are analyzed. Hold on, this is too loud. Let me turn it down. You are. No one is allowed to come forward unless you are Shannan, Rusek, Cece, or Bella, or even little baby Nico. That is who I am talking to today. That is who I want to talk to today. So, I am putting all of my energy out there for you, Shannan. Light, love, peace is the only thing that is allowed to come forward. All negative, angry, evil, nasty, you are not allowed to come forward. You are not part of this conversation. I ask that my loved ones who have passed respect my boundaries. Okay, so Shannan, I would love to talk with you. So far we got the word visit. I don't know if you can see that. And analyzed. Okay. Shannan. Torment is what it said. Torment. Just a little bit so you guys can hear just a smidge more. Okay, so we have visit, analyzed, and torment. It's really heavy. I will say that it's a very heavy way to start a conversation. But maybe this is her jumping in on what I was saying about it's disgusting. This whole situation is disgusting, and a lot of us come up here and we have to hold our tongue and be careful what we say. And the fact of the matter is, it's our opinion. It's what we believe happened. And it's not just an opinion that we plucked out of the air. It is an opinion that we formed after watching and seeing and hearing and listening to this. This happened, correct me if I'm wrong, Shannan, I believe it was 2018 is when this happened. So it's been, 7 years? So, and people are still, channels are still talking about it, and we're talking about it because we do not believe nor feel that Shannan, Bella, and Cece, and baby Nico got what they deserved. Yes, CW is in prison where he belongs, and he is there for the rest of his life. But there's so much more. And I'm a person hit. Okay, well, you will not hit me. I don't know who that was that came through, but we have visit, analyzed, torment, and hit. She could be talking about what happened that night. Maybe, and that's the thing too, because I know as a mother, I know as a mama bear, I'm very protective of my children, no matter how old they are. They're grown, they have families and babies of their own, but I'm still very protective, and I'm very protective over my grandchildren. And I know that if it had been me being she was 15 weeks pregnant with Nico, so that's 5 months being pregnant with my baby. There's no way I would not have fought back No way at all. I know she fought back. And it's just odd to me that, yes, when anything happens to a spouse, it's always the wife or the husband that they look at first. And then they it's like an onion. They peel it back and then they look at other people. The thing is, and he wasn't even under arrest. You came back. I did. Is this Shannan? He wasn't even, if I'm not mistaken, when they took pictures of him, I think that was just after or just before they arrested him. When you are doing an investigation of a homicide and you are talking to somebody who comes into your office to have this conversation because they have all of this information that they need to share with you, but yet they've deleted and gotten rid of and lied and changed their story numerous times, comes into your office with a long sleeve sweater on in the middle of the summer, why would you not question that? Why would you not have them remove it? I'm telling you, she fought back, and I don't give a rat's patoonie who disagrees with me. Don't care. That's your opinion. But I know for a fact. Joe. Oh my gosh. I can't make this up. Oh, it went away. Let me see if you guys can see it. I cannot make this up. I'm going to try to get. We have, it just said Joe. Joe, you came back, hit, torment, analyzed, visit. Joe was NK's best friend.
I hate what I did.
I hate what I did. Am I speaking with, who am I speaking with? I hate what I did. I want to speak with Shannan Rousseff, please. Formerly known as Shannan Watts. Baby, I want to talk to Nico, Bella, Cece. That is who I want to speak with. That is who I need to come forward. Please, Shannan. Please. I hate what I did. Joe, I mean, that's just too coincidence. Joe was NK's best friend. So it can't get more crazier than that. But I'm telling you, I'm going to move you over a little bit because Bubby is trying to sleep and I got my little stand right in his head. But Bubby, come over here, baby. Hold on, let me get him organized. Come here. Come on. Oh. He's a fat old man. But it's just, it blows my mind how there were so many, and she tried flirting. Let's just, okay, I know this is not about, it is about her. It's about the whole thing, okay? But I am focusing, I want to speak with Shannan, and that is why this has been so quiet, because I'm focusing my energy on one individual, one spirit. Actually, if you want to really get technical, 4, and that's Shannan. We're hiding here. Shannan, you don't need to hide. If this is Bella and Cece, you don't need to hide. I come with nothing but pure intentions, love, respect. The rest of you, I need you to step back. Please let me pull Shannan and her beautiful children forward. I want to speak with Shannan. But there are so many things that just don't make sense. And Shannan, I know you know what happened. There, and this is the thing. It's like,
memories here.
Memories here. He's sneezing, if you've heard that. Memories here. And you know, I just have to address some things, because these were things that, yes, you can comment in the channel and on the video and stuff like that, but these are things that came up during what she was, how many times was she spoken to? 3 times, I think. She had like 3 interviews. But I feel there was so, especially at the first, I think it was the first interview where her daddy was there with her. Okay, first of all, she's a grown woman. She's not a minor. She's not underage. And misery. I have never in my life seen a homicide case where people that they bring in to interview have their daddies with them. Unless they're a minor, I have never in my life seen that. And he was her buffer. He was giving her signs on his pants. There were certain things that he would do with his hand, and you could see her. It just was weird. The whole thing was weird. And I have never in my life seen a grown woman have her daddy in an interview with her. Okay, that was number one. That was just like, why is he there? The other thing was, she could not say Shannan's name without getting upset about it. It was subtle, but being a woman, you notice these things. She felt like Shannan was the other woman. She was obsessed with CW. She stalked them for over a year before this all came about. And I'm sorry, there have been so many people that said, oh, that was a typo. Really? Okay. She was, Googling something else, and Shannan Watt's name just popped up. Really? Okay. It showed that she had went and visited.
How do we work it?
How do we work it? It has shown that she had went on Shannan's Facebook page many times, because they can track who sees your stuff. You can there's a setting on Facebook where you can set it to see who has looked at your items. It shows everything you Google, everything you look at. It shows it in your history. Now, you can get rid of it off your phone, you can get rid of it off your device, but it's always there. There's just so much. But to get back to what really irritated me about her interview was, the first one was because her daddy was there. Secondly, at some point she was talking to, I don't remember who it was. I'm horrible with names, so you have to apologize. She was talking, her first interview, I think, was with Kevin. I'll just do first names because I don't remember their last name. But Shannan, if you can remember, or if you know, please let me know. She knew about their finances. Like, that's a bit weird to me. For being a mistress, you surely knew more than you should have. And she was making comments about being in the home, okay, because she was asked if she had never been there, and she lied. She lied the first time, and then oh yeah, I was there once. Oh, then that changed. Oh yeah, I was there twice. It turns out you were there like Noah. It turns out you were there like 4 times. So, sorry, I got a hangnail. Again, other spirits, I'm focusing my energy on one of you. I want to speak with Shannan Watts. I want Bella and Cece and baby Nico to come forward. I want to focus all of my energy. I would love to speak with you, Shanann. I've been following this horrific situation. I saw the day that you were, let's rephrase, I saw the day that CW was on your front porch of your beautiful home, lying to everyone. I saw that interview. None of this makes any sense. Yes, he got what he deserved. But Shanann, there's so much more to this. You and baby Nico and Cece and Bella deserve to have it done. You deserve to have your case fully interviewed, fully looked at, and everyone that was involved needs to be in jail. Shanann, you did not get justice. What this was a quick, easy solution to a man who was running to be reelected. He did not care about you or baby Nico or Cece or Bella. He was not thinking about your family and their heartache. Yeah, he's got good showmanship, I'll give him that. But he was not thinking about thanks. You're welcome. He was not thinking about any of you. He was thinking about his re-election year. He was thinking about closing the case and getting that gold star that he wanted. That's what he was thinking about. So Shanann, please, I'm asking. I am giving you all of my energy to come forward and share with me. Share with others who want to hear from you, who want to help you. We are still talking about this case, and it's going to continue to be talked about until everyone that was involved gets what they deserve. Whatever.
I enjoy the company.
I enjoy the company. Well, Shanann, I have been wanting to speak with you for so long. I need to know. I need you to give me some sort of, we won't call it evidence because that sounds too clue that this is really you I'm speaking with, Shanann. Tell me something that you know I will only know, that nobody else that may be around you may know. So far we got, and I'm going to get back to NK's irritations in a moment. We got visit, which was the first word. Analyzed, torment, hit. You came back. Joe. I hate what I did. So that obviously was somebody else coming in because Shanann, I did not do anything wrong. We're hiding here. That could be the beautiful babies. Memories here. Misery. How do we work it? Which I think they're asking, how do they work this? Noah. Thanks. I enjoy the company. And coffin. Okay, there are some, if you've been following this horrific situation, there are some things that have come out to the public.
I want you to see me.
I want you to see me. Only if you're Shanann. I'm not giving my energy for anybody else to show themselves to me. I only want to see Shanann. There were certain things that came. Maleficent. I think it's supposed to, I don't know what that means. Maleficent. We're gonna find out. Hey Siri. What does Maleficent mean?
Maleficent is a literary term. It means causing harm or destruction, especially by supernatural means.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, well, fact. We're not going to be causing harm.
Fact.
We're not going to be doing anything nasty. So if you're upset because I've asked you to step back, or you're upset because I do not want to have a conversation with you at this moment, that doesn't mean that I will not have a conversation with you in the future. Well, right now I need to speak with Shannan. So there's not going to be any maleficent, you learn a lot of new words with this, happening. Okay, so we're going to be nice to each other, we're going to show respect to one another, and we're going to get along. So the last word that came through was fact. And I was just about to say there were some facts that came out about the coffins for the baby, for Cece and Bella. As you know, and even to even say it, it makes me sick to my stomach. Sir. The way he disposed, and that's such a nasty word to use for those beautiful babies, the way he, I don't want to use the word disposed, the way that he, where he put his children. A lot of you know that it was in crude oil tanks, because he worked for the crude oil. He worked for Anadarko, which is an oil company, and he disposed of his two beautiful girls, one in each of the crude oil tanks. And because they were in there for 3 days, a lot was starting to happen to them, which makes me sick. Prepare. And they had to be laid to rest in a way that was safe for the environment. And so with Cece and Bella, their coffins, they were actually placed inside of crypts, and then the coffins, they could not have been open cast. Well, you can take your nasty somewhere else. You are not allowed here. Okay, so I'm reserving my positive energy for Shannan, Cece, Bella, and baby Nico only. So anything else, you can go away. You are not wanted here. I refuse to entertain the situation. You are not in charge. If you're going to be nasty, you can go somewhere else and be nasty. You are not wanted here. You need to go. Respect my boundaries. They had to be laid to rest in a way that was not going to interfere with Jess. That was not going to interfere with the environment. And so when it brought up the word coffin, that was, if I believe that was after I had asked Shannan to show me that she's truly with us. And that is one thing I do know about the coffin, that those girls had to be, I don't believe that any of them were open. I know for a fact the girls were not open coffin. So it breaks my heart. A lot of people get upset when there's an open coffin service. They feel that that's just, why do you want to do that? It's not.
My name is Charles.
My name is Charles. Thank you, Charles. Hello, nice to meet you again. Charles came through once before. I believe he is a very strong spirit because he is able to announce himself in such a way. But Charles, I would like to speak with Shannan Watts, or she was laid to rest as Shannan Rusek. I do not mean disrespect to any that are coming forward, but I am trying to envy. I'm trying to speak with Shannan and even baby Nico, Bella, or Cece. Please leave and let them come forward. Please do not crowd them out. Please let them have the floor. Please. So to me, having an open coffin or open casket is what they call it, service is
husband,
husband. I'm telling you guys, I'm telling you. Her family never got to say goodbye properly. You know, they were just with them over the summer. They spent 6 weeks. I'm glad that, because if I'm not mistaken, I believe from what Shanann's dad was saying, that she wasn't planning on staying that long in the beginning when they were making arrangements to go. I get it confused. I think Colorado and North Dakota, I believe, or something like that. My brain sometimes flips on me, guys, so I apologize if I'm getting some of the facts up.
it's so nice to talk.
It's so nice to talk. Am I speaking with Shannan? Shannan Rusek? Am I speaking with Bella or Cece? Bella or Cece, you do not have to be afraid.
Simplicity.
Simplicity. Okay, so let's get back to, before I get too far off track, the disgusting things that irritated me about NK. Like I said, first of all, she knew way too much about their finances. It was none of her business. Having her daddy there, but that was the most irritating, because I believe that if her dad had not been there the first time, we would have gotten a lot more information from her than we did. He was a buffer. He was there to make sure that no lines were crossed, that no leading was done. Dude, they're doing an investigation, okay? I don't know who you thought you were, but he thought that he was in charge of the situation. And they let him believe that. They let him, like, grow a backbone. You're the detective. You're the investigator. You're the one asking questions, not them. They're there just to answer. That's it. And to tell you what they know. But they let NK's dad take the lead on this investigation from day one. She thought she was calling all the shots, and they let her. So that irritated my soul deeply. The second thing that irritated my soul deeply was when they were talking about her alibi. Mary. She didn't have an alibi, okay? And I have thought this since day one. Now, Joe, being her best friend, let's call him what he is, a side piece, he supposedly was at her house the day that the unaliving happened. Now, I'm sorry, if you are being brought in or you volunteer to come in because you are connected in some way, or you know information or whatever, and you have an alibi to prove without a shadow of a doubt that you were nowhere near, that you had nothing to do with, that you know, why would you not want them to talk to your alibi? Why would you not want them to prove your alibi? This is one question that's never been asked of her. When they were talking about speaking with Joe, first of all, why do you need to tell her who you're talking to? You don't tell her who you're talking to. Every time they wanted to talk to her best friend Charlotte, or they wanted to speak with Joe, or anybody else that was affiliated with her, why are you giving her a heads up? You don't tell anyone who you're speaking with. Colin. Nice to meet you, Colin. Nice to meet you, Mary. But today our conversation is about Shannan. Shannan Rusak, formerly known as, and I hate to even put this last name with her beautiful face, Shannan Watts. That is who I want to speak with today. I don't mean any disrespect or
He was hung.
rudeness. Okay, we're not gonna discuss anything like that. Today we are going to talk to Shannan. We are discussing Shannan, and we are discussing baby Nico and Cece and Bella. Okay, so anybody else that is coming forward that wants to speak with me, thank you for coming forward. But today I need to have a one-on-one conversation with Shannan Rusak. If all possible, please let her come forward. We've got a lot of names today. The other day we did this. I think it was our New Year's Eve, our first video of the year. We only got 3 names in the whole conversation.
No, get out.
No, get out. We're going to be nice. Period. We are going to be nice. I will not tolerate any rudeness. I will not tolerate any disrespect. You will be nice or you will leave. So to get back to her alibi, Joe, when they brought up talking with him, when they brought up the fact that they wanted to reach out to him, again, why are you telling her who you're going to talk to? But when they brought that to her attention, her words were, no, leave him alone. He doesn't know what's going on. He doesn't need to be dragged into this. But he's your alibi. So he's already dragged into it because you have put him with you on that day. You've already dragged him into it by associating him with your activities for that day. But yet, you don't want him to be involved. You don't want the police talking to him or being brought, or you don't want him to be brought in for a discussion. That was like a huge red flag to me. The third thing, or was that the third? The fourth thing that irritated me about her first interview was how she was unable to say Shannan's name. And this oblivion, how she was unable to say Shannan's name, or how, I gotta tell you, her performance, her whole crying performance was so fake. Every time she would cry, she'd look up and look at the camera, and then she'd do it again. Fake, okay? Just fake, disgusting. But she was talking about, she was asked if she had ever been in the Watts home. Again, she lied on how many times she had been there, but she did say she was. And she was very opinionated about the Watts home and how beautiful it was and how everything looked like it had a very large price tag, meaning it looked expensive, and that Shannan had to portray herself to be this ritzy person, and Shannan had to, she was putting on a show for her audience and for her neighbors and for people. And let me tell you something right now, okay? And again, I know, NK, you watch these videos, and I hope you see this one, but I'm going to tell you something right now. Shannan was not putting on a show. The things in her home were very nice. She designed her home. She decorated her home. She worked hard to put a beautiful home together for her family. But Shannan's a Capricorn. Go Team Capricorn. My birthday was the 6th. Shannan's birthday is on the 10th. Vicky. Nice to meet you, Vicky. Shannan's birthday is on the 10th, so it is coming up in 2 days? I'm going to tell you right now, You could be more wrong about how judgy you were about Shanann. She worked hard for what she had. Us Capricorns, that's what we do. We work hard for what we have, and we're proud, and we show it and we display it. And there's nothing wrong with being proud about being a hard worker. There's nothing wrong about being proud about providing and giving your family the best of everything. There's nothing wrong with that. She had envy, which it did say envy earlier. She was jealous of Shanann. And you know what? By all rights, she had every right to be. Shanann was beautiful. She was a loving mother. She was a protective mother. She loved her husband. She worked hard. She lived with a chronic disease, just like I do. She lived with lupus. But she did everything she could. Gentleness. She did everything she could, and everything she did was for her children and her husband and her family. And for some homewrecker to come in and degrade the person Shanann was made me so, I was so pissed off.
She died.
She died. Yes, she did. And she shouldn't have. And it was by hands of people that betrayed her. That were supposed to, one of them was done by somebody that was supposed to love her and protect her and honor her. And he did the entire opposite. I was so angry the way that NK was belittling and diminishing and disrespecting Shanann's name and the person she was. Again, being a Capricorn, I know our personalities. And I just felt so angry for Shanann. So, you know, that was another thing that irritated me, how she, you know, was just belittling the fact that Shanann worked so hard for her family, living with a disease that is not easy on the body, giving her husband 2 beautiful girls and a boy on the way. Something that he wanted was a son. Not that he didn't love his girls. Torch. Not that he didn't love his girls, and I know you're going to be like, but he didn't. Look what he did to them. As a parent, there is, I mean, I don't know, maybe it was an act the whole time, but Shanann did everything she could to make her husband happy. She was a protective mother. She was a good mother. And she kept a good home. She kept it clean, organized. For this hussy, for this homewrecker, this trollop to come in and degrade and disrespect Shanann's name the way she did just made me so mad. I wish I could have jumped through my phone. That's how angry and pissed off I was. And then she made a comment about, they asked her if she knew what Shanann did for a living. Now we are at our 1 hour, so we're gonna go a little over today. There will be a part 2 to this one. There are some things that came through that I think referenced to Shanann. I want to talk to Shanann so bad. Be fearful.
Be fearful.
Well, be fearful of what? Is that a threat of some kind, or is that a warning? I've been living with I've been an empath all my life. It's not something that I've just recently developed. it's a part of me that I don't talk a lot about or share a lot with people, but I've seen a lot of things. I've lived in a lot of places where spirits came and went. um, I want to speak with Shannan. Please, Shannan, find a way to come forward and talk with us. We got a lot of good things. We got a lot of names. I do believe that some of the stuff in here was Shannan, like husband, envy. Agree. I mean, there's a lot of things in here that apparently they agree that was Shannan. I also too, my coffee's getting cold. I showed you guys the last time, but I'm gonna do some more work with them today. Okay, so I got my cards. I am gonna do some more work with them today. I might as well leave my glasses out because I'm gonna need those too. And eventually I want to add card reading into this channel as well. I think I found a really nice name. There's, again, like I said, I live with CRPS. So I do have another channel that's called Tammy's Journey, My Truth, and it is my journey about living with this disease. However, there's so much other things about me that I want to do. Guillotine. I don't know what that means. We're gonna find out. Hey, Siri. What does guillotine mean?
As a noun, guillotine means a machine with a heavy blade sliding vertically in grooves, used for beheading people.
Oh my God. No, thank you. Bye.
You're welcome.
That's disgusting. Okay. Well, this could be a spirit coming forward that maybe they were around that time. It did say torch. Back in the day, certain parts of the country, like England and London and all, they don't say flashlight, they say torch. So this could be somebody coming through describing what happened to them. Again, I don't mean no disrespect to anybody that is coming through. You are always welcome to come through and share your story with me, but I need to ask you to please step back because I need to speak with Shannan Rusek, formerly known as Shannan Watts, with her beautiful babies, Nico, Torment. We got that earlier. We got that. Torment. So again, I'm not trying to be rude or disrespectful. I enjoy speaking with anyone nice and respectful back. And again, only love, light is allowed here. I don't tolerate any cruelness. I don't tolerate any nastiness. I don't tolerate any bullying. And yes, there's bullying after life as well. I am protected and I have boundaries, and my boundary is that nothing ugly or nasty is allowed to come forward across my boundaries. But I will have to ask you to please allow Shannan to come forward. Please. Nurturing. She was very nurturing. She was a very nurturing mother. Shannan was a beautiful person inside out, and it's just disgusting what happened. It's just absolutely disgusting. It should have never, ever happened. This is the thing, and I don't understand. Obviously, I don't have a brain of a killer. I don't have a brain of someone who's going to annihilate their entire family. My mind and my brain don't work that way. So I'm never going to understand fully why they do this, because it doesn't make sense. If you are not happy within your marriage, there are steps, okay? Some people just throw their hands up and give up so easily and just walk away. There are steps before ending that marriage. There's marriage counseling, there's books, there's marriage therapy, there's, all kinds of things that you can try to do to mend or grow or whatever. But if after you've done all that and it's still not working and you are left with no other option but divorce, that's what you do. You divorce. You don't annihilate. You don't destroy. You don't unalive your family. I think that they are so twisted up here that disgust. Yes, disgust. I am full of disgust because this should have never happened. You divorce. You don't annihilate. You don't unalive. You don't. Life is not a big eraser where you just. And I think that he truly thought I'm going to say they because I know in my heart of heart that it wasn't just Christopher. Yes, I said his name, but I know it wasn't just CW. That they could get away with it. If not for Nikki. You felt me. Well, I know this is not Shannan, so please step back. I want Shannan to come forward. You don't do what he did. Period. If you are not happy, then you change it. And what I mean by that is you divorce after you've done everything you can do, after you've, did anything possible to fix your marriage, to regrow your bond, to become stronger together. After everything is said and done and it's still not working, then yes, do a separation, okay? Abundance. Do a separation. And if at the end of the day that's still not working, then yes, divorce should be the very last alternative. The very last alternative.
I took my last breath here.
I took my last breath here. We obviously have somebody else coming through. And again, remember, these houses weren't always here, so there could be spirits coming through that have been here hundreds of years on this land, in this area. I'm sorry to hear that, but I want so much to talk to Shannan Ruzek, please. If you can just step back and allow her to come forward, please. I truly believe that they thought that they were going to get away with it. If it had not been for Nikki, which is Shannan's best friend, there's a lot of Nikki. We're going to call her Nicole. If it had not been for Nicole doing a welfare check on her best friend because she felt something was not right. They were such best friends that they knew each other that well. If it had not been for her, you know what? Then yeah. They probably, because there were a couple of women just recently prior to Shannan and the babies. Me. Who is me? that had went missing. And I think that they talked about it. This was not something that was, this was something that was planned out, which went horribly wrong in every aspect. But I don't think it was a last minute planning. I think that it was something that they had talked about. And I think they were waiting for the right opportunity to do what they needed to do. Michael. Well, hello, Michael. Nice to meet you, Michael. I think that, Michael, could you please step back and let Shannan come forward? I know some of these words in here are very relevant to her. I feel like she has been here. I feel like she's been coming in and out. You know, there was so many times where he could have, where CW could have been like, no, I'm not doing this. This whole case is weird. Like, none of it makes any sense. Like, there's so much that, you know, and I know that it's
Where
gonna.
are my ashes?
Where are my ashes? Oh, goodness gracious. I'm gonna ignore that question.
We will touch you.
Please do not. I'm not giving you permission to do so. You do not have my permission, and I feel like you are not who I want to speak with at the moment. I need you to step back and allow Shannan to come forward. This whole thing is disgusting to me. It truly is disgusting to me. And
A doorway is open.
can you close that doorway? Unless it's the doorway for Shannan, that's the only doorway that I need opened. Otherwise, I am commanding, I am asking, and I am requesting that it be closed. But I forgot what I was going to say now. Oh, this case will be reopened. Not reopened in the sense for CW, because he's already confessed. He's in prison where he belongs. Malevolent. He's in jail where in prison where he belongs. He's in there for life. He's not getting out with his delusional thinking. He thinks there for a minute he thought he was gonna, file a motion and be a free man. No, that's not the deal that you took. Okay? The deal you took was life without parole, so you would not get the death penalty, and that you were to plead guilty. That is the deal that you took. The deal, there is no negotiating with you, CW. You are where you need to be. You're a horrible, disgusting human being, and I do not understand how you could steal the life out of your beautiful girls, out of your unborn son, and out of your beautiful wife. You took that away. I do not understand. Now, there's a part of me, and in no shape, way, fashion am I Team Chris, because I think that's disgusting. I don't understand women, and we're going to talk about that too, but I do not understand women who are attracted to that sort of thing. But it's going to reopen. And when it does, it's going to be for Nicole Keshender. She is involved. She was involved in a lot of ways. And
Facts.
facts. See? Thank you, Shanann. Thank you for verifying that. Facts. Thank you, Shanann. Team Capricorn. Team Shanann. I will always be Team Shanann because I'm sorry. I don't care what type of, and it's not like, and and by no means are we saying, that Shanann was perfect. There's no such thing as a perfect person. Um, but she was a good wife. She wanted the best for her family. She wanted the best for her husband. She wanted the best for her home. She wanted the best for her babies. There's nothing wrong with that. And there's so many people that have degraded her name and say this and that. How, I don't care how many arguments her and CW had. That is not entitlement to unalive your wife or your children. That is not entitlement for you to do anything of the kind. You divorce them. You walk away if you have to, but you do not unalive them. And this is why I say that if it had not been for so many different safety, so many different avenues and scenarios and situations and people have played in what happened. There's so much ugly around the death of Shanann and her babies. And there's so much other things coming out that would blow your mind. And it's just, this investigation was not done properly. They were walking through the house after it. They've probably but destroyed evidence by walking through. They had no gloves on. They had no, it was not done correctly. And I'm sorry, but I don't think they were taking it very serious in the beginning. I think that they had already, and I'm talking about the DA, and I think that they, it was election year. Thank God he's almost done with his term, and they'll get somebody else in there that I hope will reopen this case. And I hope, because there is no statute of limitations when it comes to unaliving a person. There isn't. And if you have show cause, which they do, to reopen.
I like to come here.
I like to come here. Well, thank you. I wish I knew who I was speaking with at the moment. Am I still speaking with Michael? But they have so much evidence that implicates NK. And it just blows my mind how they have treated her with kid gloves. But I know that come election year and they get a new DA in there, I know it's going to be somebody who, you can't ignore the fact that this is very much still alive and talked about and very much open for us. But I'm going to have to go because we're already over an hour's time, and I don't like to make these very long. I do believe that in the future it will get reopened. I do believe that we're going to have a DA, well, not we, I don't live there, but I do believe that they're going to have a DA demise. They're going to have a DA in there that is going to reopen this case, that is going to do everything in their power to make sure that everyone that was involved gets what they deserve. I know that it's going to happen. I just know it. But in the meantime, we're not going to stop talking about it. Us, what is it that you say? Armchair detectives? That's an insult. just because there's people out there that care and that obviously can do your job for you, that's an insult. You're calling names, and I take offense to that, because that's just not right at all. Um, that is you showing your mentality on how you feel about us who actually care about Shanann and her beautiful babies, and want justice, full justice, for them. That just shows your mentality level on that. So if you want to continue to name call, let mommy change your diaper before you do, okay? Make sure you have a dry bottom. The attic.
The attic.
When they brought the dogs in, they were looking around. In the laundry room of Shanann's house, there was an attic. They never went up in that attic. They never went up there. Never. There's a lot of things they didn't do that they needed to do. And I think that it's going to get done. And Shanann's finally going to have full justice for what happened. And this is the thing too. There's it's hard to believe anything that CW says. But I do believe him when he says he did not do that to his babies. That I do believe. Because he didn't even know how they were unalived. He would say strangled, then he would say smothered, then he would say strangled. He didn't know. Don't tell.
Don't tell.
Don't tell. So he didn't even know. I believe that he did dispose, but I do not believe he did the actual unaliving. I do not believe that Shanann did not fight back. I'm telling you, that girl fought back. Being a Capricorn and having the same personality of being a very protective mother, there's no way in HE double hockey sticks would she have laid there and let this happen. She fought back, and your evidence was staring you right in the face the whole time. It walked into your office, it sat in front of you, and it talked to you, and it was wearing long sleeves in the middle of summer. It's like my bones. It's like 90-degree weather, and you're wearing a long sleeve cardigan. And the first day you go in, you're wearing a long sleeve sweatshirt. I'm sorry, but y'all need different units down there because the people you have working for you are dumb. That would have been my first question. Why are you wearing a cardigan, a sweatshirt in the middle of summer? Why? Because I will tell you why. She was hiding defensive marks
Temptation.
and wounds from Shanann. Temptation. That's why. I feel some people that are detectives should not be detectives. It's not your line of work. You need to find something else to do. But we're going to end this. We're already at 1 hour and 24 minutes. And there is going to be a part 2. So I feel like we got a lot of things, words in. It was very talkative this morning. Very talkative. I feel like some of what we got in was Shanann. Like I said, I'm going to be practicing and educating myself on these. There is a book that comes with it. It tells you what kind of format to use and and what card means what. So I'm going to be practicing on these. And, you know, I do have another gadget on my phone that we may use. It's called the Necrophonic. A lot of people use it, but not a lot because it's just very loud, and it's like a lot of energy coming in at one time. I like the Spirit Talker because, well, it's eliminate. Well, yeah, that's what he did. So, so there's a lot more stuff that, you know, right now I still have Christmas stuff up, so I'm not quite sure what our backdrop's going to be yet, but it's always going to be in a comfortable, dim lit atmosphere. I feel like, because there's been a lot of, when it comes to investigators, there's been a lot of proof that the lights hurt the spirit's eyes. It hurts them. It's uncomfortable for them. So I'm trying to have a nice, dim lit, comfortable, relaxing environment when we do this. So it's still in the works, but I'm excited to see where this goes. Again, I have another channel called Tammy's Journey, My Truth, and it is all about, there's some funny stuff on there too, but it's about my journey with CRPS and what I've gone through and what I continue to go through on a daily basis. But I try not to let my disease define me. I try not to let it live my life for me. I still try to find some sort of joy in being sick. But that's all you can do, right? So, all right.
Agitated.
Agitated. Okay. Well, I am sorry that you feel agitated, but we need to end this Spirit Talker conversation. Hair in my mouth, sorry. We're going to be ending this session. I thank you that came forward, and all of the names that we got in. Thank you all. It was very nice to meet you. I'm sorry that I wasn't very interactive like I normally am with you guys. I have a goal, and my goal is to reach out to Shannan. I am not saying that I do not enjoy speaking with other spirits that have come forward, because I very much do enjoy hearing your stories, enjoy talking to you. But there's going to be moments where I'm going to ask you to step back and allow Shannan to come forward. And this morning was one of those moments. Okay? So again, thank you that came forward and introduced yourselves properly. Thank you. So we're going to end this. Cool.
Cool.
So we're going to end this session. Again, thank you all. Love, light, respect. And once I close out this session, you are to leave. Once the conversation is closed out, you are to leave. You are not to linger. You are not to stay. You are to leave. Okay, those have always been the rules. If we're going to have a conversation, you can come for a while, but you got to leave. All right? So, with that being said, thank you for your conversation. Thank you for speaking.
Tripod.
You guys are on a tripod. Yes, that is what that is, a tripod. Yes. Okay. And they do this every time I try to close out the conversation. Then I get a lot of stuff coming through because they don't want to end. They like talking. War. They like talking. They like you know, there's, again, sometimes we get, I like talking, or, I am enjoying it, because they don't, you're a spirit. You're not, there's, they want to talk, they want to share their story. They, they're hoping, and there's a lot of them that miss their loved ones that come forward. So they're hoping that maybe you're somebody who can help them connect, you know. Um, and, it's just, so again, I'm going to close it out. I enjoyed our conversation. Thank you for coming forward. Again, I lost my hair.
I lost my hair.
See, now they're coming through like crazy. All right, guys, I really, really do have to go. I promise we will talk again soon. In the meantime, I need you to step back. Once the conversation has ended, once the session has ended, you are to leave. You are not to linger. You are not to stay. Okay? So, with that being said, love, light, respect, and we are ending it now. I want to say that there is going to be a part 2, because I have a lot to say about this case. So we're already well over an hour. We're going to go. I don't want to make these videos too long. And it's very hard not to, because there's so much that needs to be talked about. There's so much that needs to be said. But I hope you enjoyed our session today. I do believe that Shannan came forward a few times. I do believe that some of the things that were said in there refer to her. I do believe it was her coming forward. And again, like I said, there's going to be probably a couple videos with our spirit talker pertaining to Shannan. So with that being said, I wish you all a great day. Thank you all for watching. If you have any ideas that you would like me to talk about, any things you want me to address or talk about, put them in the comments below. Don't forget to hit the like button, because that pushes my videos out there. That shows YouTube that you like what I'm doing. I am a disabled person who loves the spiritual world, who's been very connected to it her whole life. Being an empath is not easy, I will tell you that. But so by you hitting that like button, it's just showing YouTube that you enjoy what I'm doing. Don't forget to subscribe, because subscribers, that helps a ton. Especially for us small channels, we're just small. My other channel that I have, that I've mentioned a couple times here, which is called Tammy's Journey, My Truth, it is relevantly, it's not a new channel, but just recently I've been adding more to it, and I've been getting more involved with my channel. So it's still growing. We're only a little over 100 subscribers. So if you wouldn't mind also going over there and showing that channel some love as well, that would be greatly appreciated. So we're gonna go. I love you all. I wish you all an amazing day. And yeah, so until next time, ciao for now. Bye.